Now, I'm saying something. I'm not a scientist. I don't know anything about the scientific part of the human body or the human brain. But I'm speaking due to a fact of a video that I'm watching of a gentleman that allegedly supposed to have killed his wife. He is denying that. He's saying no. There's a gentleman that's in jail with him that they put on a witness stand, which said that this gentleman that supposedly had allegedly had killed his wife is telling him that he did it. He didn't mean to do it. They got in an altercation and he mistakenly hit her in the head with the golf club, and she, I guess he threw her in the pool, however it was. But that's neither here or there to me. What I want to say, I'm going into my perspective of the scientific part of what happens to a person when they get locked up. Now, me personally, I went to Rikers Island, right? I wasn't in there long enough for my body or my mind to break down to my environment. But that was only because I was saved. Because things was going through my head and stuff like that, but I wouldn't dwell on it. But a person that may have been sentenced to life in prison, our bodies needs life because it thrives on life. Give me 1 second. Let me finish this video. Um, it thrives on life. Why? Because we we was given life from God, and the life that was given to us from God wasn't so much as being born; it was so much as breath, right? So now, let me see if I can remember what I said prior to me actually starting this video. I was saying that the gentleman that told it, no, the gentleman that did the killing, right? That was the nine that allegedly did the killing. And then he began to tell it. The aspect of it is that, being that I use my place as of in where I live as an example. I was saying that I'm in this house, and my house can pick up germs, right? I mean, there's germs all over the place, but germs that contracts a cold, right? And everybody in my house is sniffing, everybody's coughing, but it's nothing deadly, it's nothing sickly, it's nothing put you in the bed. It just gives you a cold, and the whole house keeps this stiffness, this sniffiness in the nose and sneezing and etc. Sort of like an allergy, right? But then when I step out of my house, now I'm getting fresher air than what's in my house. So now that air out there begins to work on, I'm going to say it like I'm thinking, because I really don't know how to put it together scientifically. I don't have all them fancy words to make it sound so great, so I'm just going to say it how I can. So how I'm thinking it. So I go out and I get fresh air than what's in my house. And once I hit up on that fresh air, I get that sunshine, I get that breeze. Now I'm breathing this in, so now it begins to work on the part of the body that has accumulated those germs that is toxic. So now it starts working on me, and then when I get out there, I feel so much better. I can breathe better. Maybe I had headaches in the house. The headache disappeared, right? That's because the body has a chance to rejuvenate, if that's the right word, and work on itself. Because we are a human organism. We are a big organism. I learned that in cooking. So they were talking about different organisms that get on the food, if I got that right. Don't kill me for anybody that cooks. So now, we are a human organism, and we live off of air. We breathe air. Air is what keeps us alive, which is considered breath in another term. So therefore, we need air. So staying in an environment that does not accumulate air or generate air, after a while, the body begins to break down. Now, mind you, you're breathing, but you're not breathing that air that God has made specifically for the body. We got the air that we breathe, where wherever we go, we're breathing. But then we have to get fresh air after a while. For instance, just to throw this in, for 3 months I stayed in the house when COVID really went out there, when they was giving curfews in New York City and you couldn't go out. I mean, you can go out, but you had to be, no, first you couldn't go out at all. You couldn't go out. The only people that was out that could go out was first responders and the police and all that. You had to stay in your house. That's when the pandemic was very bad. If you had to go out in reference to working, you had to wear a mask on your face. Like, and that was the purpose of the vaccines at that time. It's mandatory to get vaccines. I didn't get no vaccine. I stayed myself in the house. So I stayed in the house for 3 months. Now, I'm using this as an example. I stayed in the house for 3 months. I didn't go out. I stayed in my room for 3 months. Okay, I have 2 windows, one there, and there go the other one, right? I kept the windows open during the course of, this is the summer. If I'm correct, this is the summer months. Now, once they allowed us to go back out, I will admit that I was kind of skeptical. I was like, I don't know whether I want to go out. I kept saying, how would my body take this air? Because in the back of my head, I was thinking, I've been in here so long. Now, if I go out there, you know, I have seen movies where people be in the dark for so long, been locked up for so long, and then when they get outside, they become hallucinated. They start hallucinating things, and certain things start happening to them, and they may pass out and all that. So I'm be honest, all these things start going in my head. But you know, I believe in my God. So anyway, so I went on out. Now, once I stepped out, I felt the difference. It was like when I went out, I took in that breath, and I can't explain it, but my whole body began to feel different. I had to work on myself. I had to go in. I had to eat what God told me to eat. I had to put a lot of water back in my body, so I ate a lot of salads and avocado and watermelon, celery, cucumbers. All of those are water vegetables, if I'm correct. So the Lord was leading me. But my point is that when I stepped out there, I felt the difference. So now, going back to this gentleman. So now, this gentleman came to the point where, okay, I guess allegedly came to that point saying, okay, well, I'm here. I'm going to be here forever, you know. Now, what I was saying was that your body breaks down, right? So I had to think about that. Now, I could be wrong, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to become offensive to anybody comments that tell me I'm wrong, because I could be wrong. But in my perspective and thought pattern, I'm thinking that when you become closed in first, your body begins to break down, right? Your body breaks down. You know, it's not getting the right amount of air. It's not getting enough oxygen. Because just like I said, we are a big organism, so we need oxygen to go to the body. Not only by breathing, but we need enough oxygen to go in to keep the inside organs functioning correctly. So now, this person's allegedly locked up, and the body begins to break down. So now when the body breaks down, it's breaking down because, as I explained, that air of nature is no longer getting. The sun, you're no longer getting. You're locked up into this cell, and this is where you stay at. So now, you maybe have not, it may not have been affecting your mind yet, but your body begins to break down, right? Now, the reason why I said that is because I used the scenario, the example of a person that's in a coma. A person can be in a coma because their brain, or should I say, their brain has slowed down. It has not stopped working, because once it stopped working, you're dead, I'm presuming. But the brain, certain parts of the brain has shut down. So because those certain parts of the brain shut down, that causes certain parts of the body to not function. So that causes that part of the body to die out, you know. So when these things start happening to an individual that locked up, allegedly, I'm thinking that the body begins to slow down. And I'm not saying that, in the reference of losing weight and looking sickly. No, because a lot of inmates look very well. They're well taken care of, because I guess when you're locked up, they got to make sure you don't die in there. So they got to make sure they give you what the body needs in order to stay alive. Excuse me. So then it starts working on the brain. Now, once it starts getting on the brain, then that's when the brain starts talking to the body in general, not to different parts of the body, but to the body in general, which consists of parts. And then you like, okay, well, it doesn't make it, I might as well just tell it. So this gentleman who allegedly supposedly had killed his wife, but still saying, at the time of this video, which is 3 months ago, maybe 3 months ago is when it was uploaded. I don't know when it happened. But he allegedly said he didn't do it. But then allegedly he was supposed to have been talking to someone, a cellmate, and he told the cellmate that he did do it. He didn't mean to do it. So now, my whole point is doing this video was to speak on the fact of what happens. The reason why I said that, thank you, Holy Ghost, was because the man said, the allegedly cellmate said that the allegedly guy that allegedly did the killing told him what he used, which was a golf club, to kill his wife. So now I'm thinking, because I don't know why inside of me I was saying that he didn't do it. But when the guy came and said that, now he still could not have done it, even though all evidence points to that he did. When the allegedly cellmate said that the allegedly husband allegedly killed the wife, he brought in that factor of the murder weapon, which was a golf club, and where the golf club was. So there in the video is saying that he supposedly, the allegedly husband was supposed to allegedly told the cellmate to go, I guess, to his house or wherever, and get the golf club and hide it, I guess, something on that manner. So now I started thinking, I was like, wait a minute. I said, so then he had to tell him this, even though in the video, when they was interviewing the husband, he still denies that he didn't say such a thing. So this is where it comes to me saying and making this video in reference to what happens to the brain and the body once it begins to break down and become a part of the environment that it's in. Because our bodies are made to adapt to any type of survival situation. So even though it's jail or prison, it's still a survival, because you don't have the opportunity to give to your body what you normally would give it or what it normally needs. So your body begin to adjust to that area, to that environment that you're in. And then eventually you become a part of that environment. See, this is why I'm going to use it. This is the reason why I feel that when two people come together and be together for a while, they begin to act like each other, finish each other's sentences, look like each other. And then if they dress a way, they begin to dress. That's by choice. That's by choice to dress alike. But when you become a part of one another, that's not by choice. That is how God has made the body to adapt and become a part of something. And the reason why we easily begin to look like one another or easily adapt to our environment is because Adam and Eve was made in a garden. So they didn't have no buildings to live in. They didn't have no work that they had to do. They only had to live and adapt to the environment of nature. So they didn't have to worry about cooking no food in order for the body to survive and be sustained, because the food was there. They didn't have to worry about drinking no water in order to sustain life, because the rivers was there, I'm sure. Their bodies were not physical bodies like ours. They had spiritual bodies. So to be honest, the spiritual body doesn't need food. It only needs the presence of God. And that is the reason why God will come. Well, it doesn't tell us in the Bible that God visit him every day. I'm not sure it does tell that. But if it does, then it backs up what I'm saying now. But if it doesn't, I'm presuming that God visit Adam and Eve every day in the cool of the garden in the evening. So that means that God interacted with them. They was at a place where they had no sin. They had no reason to be separated from God. So God interacted with them. And it's the same way it is today. When we get the Holy Ghost in us, which is the Spirit of God, he rejuvenates us. He brings this body alive. And we are able to interact with him through the Holy Ghost. So Adam and Eve didn't need the type of life that we needed now, because they didn't have the type of physical body that we got back then. So now, this is what happens with a person, I believe, that get locked up. Their body breaks down to the environment, right? It began to take on whatever is given to them, the food that's given to them. The brain began to accept what it sees, accept what is said to them, and the brain has to now teach the body how to adapt to the lifestyle than the normal lifestyle. So I personally think, it's my personal opinion, think that the man did talk to the guy and may allegedly had done the crime, because how would the guy know where the murder weapon was? Because throughout all that I listened to, I didn't hear them say anything about what the girl was hit with. They did come to a conclusion that there was trauma to the head, but they couldn't get it together of where the trauma came from, because I'm presuming scientifically and through what they call them, you're able to see through pictures, however it is, autopsy and all that, autopsies, they can see if you got hit in the head, they can tell where you got hit in the head with. And sometimes, well, the movies that I saw, like CSI and what's the other one? There was another one. I think it's CSI, Miami and all that stuff. Um, they could be able to tell you which way the person got hit and what they got hit with, what hand hit them, the left or the right. So they did say that the girl had trauma to the head, but they couldn't place how she got the trauma. They were saying that she could have, they kept showing the picture where there was a slipper, a rope, and could have fell. The slippers, she could have got caught into the cord and fell into the pool. But they didn't even elaborate on that, because then if she had fell, then I guess it would have been told which way she fell. You see what I'm saying? Because if you flip, if you trip, your feet gets caught up in something, I'm presuming and thinking that you're going to go forward. So you're going to hit this part of your face. But that's the face part. So she got hit in the head. So they didn't know what she got hit with. So this gentleman, which is allegedly his cellmate, said that he told him, allegedly, that he hit her in the head with, they got into a confrontation, and he hit her with the golf club. So now that's what I was thinking. I said, okay, so now nobody knows. Nobody knew, not even, I mean, he's in jail now, so nobody know how she got hit in the head. But I guess all the evidence that they had pointed to him, so he got arrested and doing time or however. Just like I said, I don't know when this video was made. I just know it was uploaded to this particular channel, which is the True Crime Daily. D-A-I, yeah, Daily. YouTube channel. So, if he's the guy, the cellmate, allegedly is saying that the guy told him, the husband, told him how he killed her, which was supposedly, allegedly with the, I keep saying allegedly because I don't want nobody, I want YouTube flagging me and nobody commenting saying he didn't do it that way. He didn't say this, so I'm going to say allegedly, based on what was said, that he hit her with the golf club, and the golf club, I believe, is in the garage. I can't really remember right now where it was. So then that got me thinking, well, then maybe, remember I said maybe, he did do it, because then how would the cellmate know what it was that killed her, right? Because in courts, nothing. They had no evidence to know. So that means whatever he used to hit her with, he put it up, right? As if nothing happened, right? He could have cleaned it or whatever. Because being that she was found in the pool, now here's the thing that they did say, and it's probably the reason why they couldn't find out how she died or what she got hit with, because they saying that the water was so cold that it had maybe frozen up. I guess something happens to the body if it's in too cold water, too much of a cold water environment. So they couldn't really do a full autopsy on her. So I guess they had to just stay with, allegedly, the fact that she must have hit her head while entering the pool, because they found at the bottom of the pool. So now, new evidence, and this is how they saying it in the video, that this is new and shocking evidence. And so now, that's the evidence where he allegedly, supposedly, had killed the girl. So now I have to put this on my head because I don't think I can play it. I don't think I can play it so y'all can hear it. Because then that means that I'm what they call it? Copywriting something. All right, let me see if I can get this in my headphone. Oh my goodness. I don't want to stop the video, but I can't connect it. Yeah, I'm trying to put my... I can't disconnect it because... Because I want to hear how this ends so I can give y'all an ending to it. Even though he's already being... This interview is with him and... All right, I'm going to have to stop it.